What if I told you the Clash of Clans you play today is missing some huge features that were completely wiped from the game? I'm not talking about small balance changes. We're winding the clock back to uncover 5 of the most significant features that Supercell totally removed.
Okay, let's go.
From groundbreaking exploits to changes that reset the entire economy, you won't believe these were ever real. Let's kick it off with number 5. Coming in at the number 5 slot is a feature that sounds insane today. The ability to sell your buildings. For a very short time in the game's early days, you could tap on almost any building, defenses, collectors, even your clan castle, and sell it for a 10% return on its original cost. Imagine being a few thousand gold short for a big upgrade and just selling off that archer tower you never really liked. For a moment, it was a quick fix solution. But yeah, there was a huge problem. This feature opened up a massive game-breaking exploit. Players quickly found a loophole that let them sell their town hall, the one building that should be untouchable. The result was pure chaos. You could theoretically sell all your key structures, hoard the gold, and then what? Some players did it just to see if they could, creating bizarre, broken-looking bases with no way to move forward. This completely undermined the entire point of the game, which is to build, defend, and attack. Letting players tear down their progress for quick cash was a fundamental flaw. Supercell saw this almost immediately. The ability to sell buildings was a very short-lived experiment, removed in a 2012 update to keep the game's strategy intact. They had to stop these kind of exploits to make sure the game stayed about planning and resource management, not get-rich-quick schemes that left you with a hollowed-out village. It's a perfect lesson in how a simple idea can totally break a game's balance. At number 4, we've got a feature that was removed less for game balance and more for philosophy. National flags. For years, you could buy and display flags from real-world countries as decorations. It was a popular way for players to show some national pride and collect with clanmates from the same region. You'd see villages dotted with flags from all over the globe, creating a cool global mosaic inside the game. For most, it was just a simple, harmless way to personalize their base. However, as Clash of Clans exploded into a global hit with millions of players from every background imaginable, the flags started to cause problems. Supercell's vision was to create a fun fantasy world, a Clash universe, totally separate from the messiness of real-world conflicts. Including real-world national symbols, they realized could accidentally bring political tension into the game.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So, in a June 2022 update, Supercell made the call to remove all national flags. They explained that they wanted to keep the Clash universe free from real-world references and maintain a neutral, welcoming space for everyone. Fictional flags stayed, but the real ones vanished, and anyone who brought them got their gold back. This decision got people talking. Long-time players were bummed out, feeling like a piece of their personal expression was gone. But the move sent a clear message. Clash of Clans is a fantasy escape, not another battleground for real-world drama. Next up, at number 3, is something every veteran player will remember. Having multiple barracks and dark barracks. In older versions of the game, if you wanted to train an army faster, you had to build and upgrade multiple barracks, up to 4 regular and 2 dark. Each one had its own training queue. This meant you would have barbarians training in one, archers in another, giants in a third, all at the same time. For years, this is just how you trained an army. The total wait time was based on your longest individual queue, not the total time for all troops. It created its own little strategy where you had to perfectly balance all troops across the barracks to get your army as fast as possible. It meant also upgrading a barracks was a huge commitment because it took one of your production line down and slowed you big time. But as the game added more and more buildings, village space became super valuable. Supercell realized that 6 different buildings just for training troops was inefficient and cluttered up bases. So, they completely streamlined the system. The duplicate barracks were removed, leaving just one of each time. To make up for it, they tweaked the timing so a single barracks could train just as fast as 4 used to. It was a huge quality of life update that upgraded and simplified everything, made base design cleaner, and got rid of the pain of having a barracks down for an upgrade. Our runner-up is a feature whose removal was met with a massive sigh of relief from literally everyone. The forced waiting time in builder-based battles. When builder-base was first launched, its head-to-head attacks had a major catch. After you finished your attack, you were stuck until your opponent finished theirs. This created what might be one of the most infuriating experiences in Clash history. Picture this: you pull off a perfect, quick 3-star attack in under a minute. You're hyped and ready to get to the next battle, but you can't go. You're forced to sit there and watch your opponent slowly place one sneaky archer at a time, taking the full 3 minutes to finish their attack. This was often done on purpose by players who would drag out their attacks just to waste your time. It turned a mode that was supposed to be fast-paced into a total drag. The community feedback was deafening. This waiting period was a huge pain point that made people not want to play the mode at all. Supercell listened, and in a major rework of the builder base, they scrapped the feature. The change was like a breath of fresh air. It drastically improved the flow of builder base, letting players jump from one attack to another without being held hostage. It was a crucial update that arguably saved the game mode, and it goes to show sometimes the best update is the one that respects your time. And now, the number one biggest feature ever removed from Clash of Clans: paying resources to train troops and brew spells. For most of the game's history, every single troop, spell, and siege machine cost Elixir or Dark Elixir. This wasn't some small detail, it was the absolute core of the game's economy. Every single raid was a careful calculation. You had to ask yourself, could my army earn back what it costs to make, plus a profit? This economic pressure shaped how everyone played for years. It's why cheap farming armies like Barracks, just barbarians and archers, were so popular. They were cheap to make and could raid collectors for easy profit. Using powerful armies with golems or dragons for everyday farming was just a bad idea, since you'd spend more elixir than you could ever make back. This really limited the kinds of armies people used outside of clan wars and discouraged experimenting with fun, expensive troops. Then, in the summer 2022 update, Supercell did something revolutionary. They made it all free. Overnight, every troop, spell, and siege machine cost 0 resources to train. The goal was to free players from the economic chains and get them to try wild, new attack strategies without worrying about going broke. This was easily one of the biggest changes in the game's history. It completely flipped the script from a game about managing resources to one about pure strategy. Now you can use your strongest, craziest army for every raid without thinking twice. Removing training costs didn't just remove a feature, it redefined the entire offensive side of Clash of Clans, making the game more creative and more fun than ever before. So there you have it, 5 features that once defined Clash of Clans, now just a memory. From selling your town hall to paying for every last barbarian, the game has evolved in some pretty wild ways. It just shows you how Supercell has been constantly tuning the experience, trimming what doesn't work to make the game we love today.